Given that it seems very topical to talk smack on Pokemon lately, I'm hopping on the bandwagon and going as far as to say that Gen 5 is the last generation that Pokemon was any good. So here are 3 reasons. So let's go straight in with number 1, Fairy types. Despite Fairy types being the savior to those struggling to take down those pesky Dragon type Pokemon, and Sableye Spiritomb, it heavily shifts the dynamic from having something sorta overpowered but not too overpowered to literally making everyone use Togekiss, maybe Gardevoir, and nothing else. And although I did enjoy using my Gardevoir in Pokemon Sword, it just felt way too strong. On top of this, I have to mention how not slick Game Freak was by trying to make the 2 types that don't have too many good moves given a massive boost for competitive play. So basically, what I'm saying is, Metagross is still OP, maybe more than before. Reason number 2, main story depth. Anyone with a brain can definitely point out that the main story in the recent games has really faltered and show little to no intriguing elements. Big questions are asked for the lack of a challenge. Like what happened to the relatively big and tedious dungeons, with particular puzzles like the Strength Boulder ones? Pokemon Sword and Shield itself gave us puny dungeons, and a tragic and tedious end before facing Leon, the champion. I should also mention, the main story dungeons in Sword and Shield are literally called Galar Mine number 1 and number 2, respectively. I wonder who came up with those brilliant names.
Alright boys, we need new names for these mines because the old ones ain't cutting it.
Boss, I reckon we should name one of them Galar Mine number 1.
Oh yeah, we should name the other one Galar Mine 2. Very original. Wink.
Bloody brilliant, lads. You know what? I'm gonna give both of you a raise for that one. No, you know what? You guys lead the game developing. I quit.
And even when the story definitely carried Sun and Moon, you just seem like a bystander, or third-person view-esque observer for the most part. In contrast to the monstrosity Game Freak produced, we see in Hoenn how well they're able to subtly go forward with story progression as you obtain your respective region's badges. Hoenn instance, along with the Team Rocket shenanigans you encounter in the Johto and Kanto region, are far too annoying as it requires you to go back and forth between places. I think it just manages to ingrain its memorable aspects with a valid dilemma that isn't just caused by a pathetic group of thugs who don't even have nice uniforms. I'll even go as far to say that despite how routes like Route 216 were a pain in the butt in the Sinnoh games, it really made you have to work and required patience to get out of there. Lastly, reason number 3, the game is just generally too easy. This sort of ties in well with what I've mentioned prior, but additionally it genuinely feels as though you're given way too easy of a ride to level up your Pokemon, and at that point you're able to one-shot everything in front of you. And obviously, I mean this for the main game, not so much for the competitive aspect. In Generation 5, you're able to not only unlock a harder mode, but you even have medal challenges that I remember trying so hard to get every single one of, and even to this day, I don't even think I completed it. And what about having an actually challenging gym leader who doesn't use fairy types as their main team theme? And I'm talking about your Brawlies, your Whitneys, and I can extend this further with the Elite Foreign Champions, with the likes of Lance or Cynthia. In some ways, I sort of get it that Pokemon will never quite be the same because of how hard it is to come up with something refreshing. Something new could possibly trigger the reaction of everyone saying that it's just the same game over and over. But I must say, Game Freak, I can't imagine you being the second coming of EA Sports games, so I think you're okay. And that concludes today's video on WeebOut. Do you agree with me? I bet a lot of you are going to send me a lot of hate for this video. However, I do stand by with most of what I said quite firmly. But nevertheless, voice your opinions in the comments down below and leave a like and a subscribe while you're down there. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and cheers.